Rory Dollard, go ahead.
Hi, Stuart.
Hiya.
Hi. I just wonder if you could tell us, obviously, we all remember the interview from the first test of this series, and you were very honest about when things are hard in international sport and you get left out and it's a tricky time. Can you just maybe give us a similar insight into how it feels when everything feels like a hell of a lot of fun and you're scoring runs and taking wickets and you walk off, I guess, feeling on top of the world?
Yeah, I mean it's been a great day for us for sure. I mean it feels great, but we also talk, international cricket. You don't have many days that you individually can go like, that was a great day. I don't know what the percentage would be, but even there's days that you might not bat or bowl. Your team might have a great day, but you individually might not. So you have to cherish the days that things go okay for you, but then they don't really mean anything unless you don't win the game. And that's our number one aim. We have to win this game to get the trophy. And we've given ourselves a great opportunity at the moment. Our number one aim tomorrow has to be to try and bowl the West Indies out, so we have an option of a follow-on, because that means we've bowled really well. I don't know what we'd do with a follow-on, but if we could get those 5 wickets quickly in the first hour and a half, then we'd still have 4 relatively fresh seamers and Bessie to come into the game. Be an interesting decision.
And just on the batting in particular, obviously that was your highest score since 2013. And in that time, over the last year or so, you've actually dropped down to number 11 at times. How much pride do you take in that aspect of your game still, and turning around a good performance for the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was today, there were quite important runs. It was about sort of changing the momentum of the innings. I think West Indies bowled beautifully this morning. Gave us encouragement because we thought that there was certainly more dismissals nicked to slip than the last pitch. But I think if I'd have gone out there today and tried to play regulation, I think there was a ball with my name on it. So it was to try and up the momentum, hit the bowlers off the length, and try and take Kemar and Shannon away from what they'd done so well in the first 40 minutes. So I think tactically that was the right thing to do, and something I've worked on with Peter Moores a little bit. I just mentioned on Sky actually that he brought me the example of Shane Warne. Didn't look particularly pretty at times, but hit balls in different areas and was really effective, particularly in the 05 Ashes. So take that sort of mindset into it. Stay leg side of it to take the LBW out, and back your hand eye on a full straight ball that's theoretically outside your eye line. So there was a little bit of thought process into the madness today, but I did enjoy being out there, and I thought Bessie was brilliant at the other end. Had a really nice innings with Mark Wood at the Wanderers, and we were both sort of revving each other up to try and hit it further and further, whereas Bessie showed brilliant experience for a young man today to be able to continue and stay in his bubble and play the way he wanted to play when a sort of a headless chicken was swiping away at the other end.
Okay, we'll go with Dean and then George, please.
Hi, Stuart. Well played today. You just talked about cherishing, those good days you get where the team's done well and you've done well. What about cherishing a good day in the field with your mate Jimmy? I know there's been plenty of talk about that, but the fact is that you haven't played as much together as you used to. I think only 3 in the last 14 matches together. So when the two of you are kind of doing your thing out there, I mean, how much do you kind of cherish that as well?
On today's performance, do you think we're in the best bowling attack?
Well, I don't really get paid the big bucks to make those decisions, but I just wondered how much you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I think we pride ourselves on building pressure and adapting to conditions quicker than the opening batsmen do, and we did exactly that today. I think as a whole bowling unit, we did that today. I think we've both tried to go a bit fuller in the last couple of years, which is which has helped both of us, I think. And this pitch was more suited to wobble than swing. So both of us tried to put that into the equation until the ball got slightly older and started to swing with the wind a little bit from Jimmy's end. So I think it didn't really feel like we hadn't played together for so long. And I think, was it the Ashes? Pretoria, we played together in Cape Town, didn't we? Yeah. In the first Ashes game. So, yeah, I mean, 3 out of 14 isn't a lot, but we sort of slotted back into what we do and how we work together to take wickets. And I think, the proof was almost in the pudding a little bit today, and hopefully we can carry that on tomorrow.
And one of your wickets included probably a new level of celeb appeal. Any chance that the old man might tap you on the shoulder?
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit nervous about that, in all honesty. It was one of those, because I was bowling with the wind going across the ground, like into chase. I was trying to bowl outside off stump. We'd been talking to Chris Wokes at mid-on for about 9 balls of when to really bowl a slightly quicker one that comes back in. How Chris got him in the first innings of the last test, actually. So it was like patience, bring him across. So eventually when I tried it and it hit the pad, it was a different sort of, when a plan comes together, a slightly different level of excitement. So I sort of celebrated like it bowled in, really, instead of having to appeal. Not one of my favourite moments, but also the 10 seconds after taking a wicket, you just don't have any control of what's happening. But it wasn't one of my final ones. It doesn't beat I reminded Joff at mid-off, actually, that it doesn't beat his one for Sussex against Leicestershire when he just charged down with his knees high and his both arms in the air. But it was a pretty bad one, or good one. It depends which way you're looking at that one.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, George, please, and then Chris Stocks.
G'day. How does that compare, that 4-man team attack that England have put out today, to all the team attacks that you've played in? Because it seemed completely relentless from a batting point of view. Are you able to explain a little bit about how that 4-man attack complements one another, please?
Yeah, I think we all are slightly different bowlers, and I think we all release from slightly different places on the crease, which means that every time a different bowler comes on, the batsmen have to make little adjustments. And we pride ourselves in, we have a saying between the bowling unit of control the run rate, control the game a little bit, because if you don't make easy boundaries, if you go wicket, you're in the game still. And every bowler on that pitch has got the ability to control the run rate and a natural wicket take. Because I think, to be honest, from what I've seen from mid-on and bowling with him, I think Chris Wokes is in the best rhythm of his life. I think he's added a little, what's the right way of saying it, a bit of niggle to his game in Test cricket, if that makes sense. He's a bit of aggression there. And he is bowling beautifully. I think he's challenging the batsman on the inside edge and the outside edge, great bounce and good pace. And it's good to have a sort of an armoury of fast bowlers that you feel like you could play anyone, and everyone feels like taking wickets. I think I wonder if we're ahead in the series, I wonder if we'd have maybe gone with the batsman over the extra bowler. But now we've got runs on the board over 350. I think having that sort of firepower is going to get us in some really good positions over the next couple of days.
Is it fair to say that's the strongest 4-man seam attack you played with in England?
I mean, I think for this pitch that it suits, it's relatively slow, but it suits seam and hitting the pitch. I think it's a very, very strong attack. I think the great thing that with the bowlers we've got here is everyone offers something slightly different. Sam Curran with the left arm, Woodley with dynamic pace. It feels like anyone that plays just brings something slightly different. I think what you want to try and avoid is 4 seamers that all do exactly the same thing, because if you don't get a pitch that suits, you could be in a bit of trouble. Whereas this seam attack really, really does have a difference in sort of line and attack and seam and swing and wobble. And it's quite relentless.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go with Chris Stocks and finish with Vish.
Hi, Stuart. I want to talk about your batting again, if that's okay. I saw you mentioned on Sky that the Varun Aaron incident here in 2014 did affect your batting for a while. I just wondered how much mentally did it affect your batting? And do you feel that that innings today, especially coming here, has kind of exercised a few demons from that incident?
I wouldn't say it's exercised anything. Yeah, of course it affected, you know, someone like Craig Keyswetter, who was a much better batsman than me, ended up pretty much retiring from it, really. I think I had a really good chat with Michael Lum, who I actually hit in the face in Abu Dhabi. I don't know if you remember, before the T20 World Cup in 2010, we played a England Lions versus England game, and I hit him through the grill and split his cheek open. And he said that really affected him for about 18 months. So to hear that coming from a bloke who's got 100 times more talent with the bat than me, that it affected someone like him and his job was just batting, was quite refreshing, because, you know, you start questioning yourself a lot that it affects you, but actually it's a pretty brutal thing, and not many people go through something like that when the ball goes straight through the visor. Much different to just getting plonked on the head with the normal helmet on, but through the visor. But yeah, I mean, there's no doubting that it's had a psychological effect. And, you know, I never really say I enjoyed batting, but you know, it certainly made it very unenjoyable for a period of time. But I did some good work with Peter Moores as well on tactical stuff, and it was great to be able to put that into practice today. You know, staying more leg side of it, keeping my eyes in my head more level and still, so I don't get sort of across my stumps and lose the ball halfway down. So yeah, Morsey, you know, has to take a lot of credit for a lot of my career, because he's someone that's always been on the phone, and I've always worked with on bowling and batting. And, you know, his lead percentage idea for me has taken me to another level as a bowler, and this idea with going a bit Warne-like has suited me. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to affect it's great to hear from Lummy say it's going to affect anybody, but I would have probably done things slightly differently in 2014 if I had my time again.
Thanks.
Okay, last one, Vish, please.
Stuart, just relating to the answer you gave Dino on how rare it is for you and Jimmy to play together, you really get the sense that when you do play together now, the kind of public and England cricket fans are really savouring it. From your personal point of view, do you kind of have that kind of emotional feeling of, you know, what does it do to you when you kind of do end up playing with Jimmy? What kind of, you know, on an emotional level, how is that? Is that something you're savouring?
I wouldn't say savouring, because when I speak to him, he wants to keep going until he's Darren Stevens' age, by the sounds of it. You know, he still can see himself trundling in at 42. But so I certainly don't get that sense that I don't ever walk on the field and go, oh, this could, you know, is this the last time we play together, or anything like that? Because both of us have got a burning desire to keep going and keep trying to win Test matches for England, which is a great thing. I certainly get the feeling that when one of us goes, or both of us go, that each other will be one of the first people to know. And there's certainly been no talk of that. You know, Jimmy's record is arguably getting better and better, as is mine. So let's sort of keep striking while the iron's hot. Is that a saying? I don't know that's a saying, is it?
Okay, we're done. Thank you.